In the land of shifting sands, a new life sparked amidst the chaos of war. A dragonborn known as Thiothez. Born in a time of turmoil where the roar of dragons echoed across the dunes, his first cries were swallowed by the cacophony of battle. For this was no ordinary time, but the era of the great war between the chromatic and metallic dragons. Teppihiem was a dragonborn, a hybrid creature, part humanoid, part dragon. He was covered from head to foot in azure scales, his head adorned with magnificent horns. His tail was long and sinuous, but unlike his draconic masters, he was wingless. The Dragonborn were a proud race, fierce warriors and loyal to a fault, yet they were not free. They were shackled to their dragon masters, bound by chains stronger than any forged in the fires of a blacksmith's forge. In the midst of the war, a spark of rebellion ignited within the Dragonborn. It began in the heart of Thiothez' family. They dared to challenge their master, the mighty blue dragon, Brenin Gwint. A storm, the miraculous king of wind and storm. It was unheard of, a defiance that sent ripples of shock through the Dragonborn ranks. But it was more than just an act of rebellion. It was a cry for freedom, a beacon of hope in a world overshadowed by the wings of dragons. But to challenge a dragon is to court death. The power of Brenin Gwint's storm was immense, his wrath terrifying. Despite their courage, their strength and their determination, Thiothez' family could not stand against him. The rebellion was crushed, the spark of freedom extinguished as quickly as it had been lit. Their rebellion, however, was short-lived, and the consequences were dire. The price of rebellion was paid in blood and terror. In the wake of the failed uprising, retribution was swift and merciless. Brenin Gwint, a storm, the mighty blue dragon, summoned his most terrifying ally, the black dragon known as Mer Sol sin Distiru Popeth sin Gwiliok Broidwidian Wayan. This beast, whose name chillingly translates as "He who outlasts all, he who watches your dreams die," was the embodiment of dread. With scales black as the moonless night and acid dripping from its maw, capable of melting bone to nothingness, this dragon stood as the executioner of the rebellious Dragonborn. Thiothez, the young blue Dragonborn, could only watch in horror as his family and kin were fed to the black dragon. The anguish of seeing his loved ones devoured, their screams echoing in the vast empty desert, was a sight and sound that would forever haunt him. But the punishment for the rebellion did not end there. The elder dragons, in their cold and calculated wrath, cast a devastating curse upon the remaining Dragonborn eggs. A curse that would forever alter the future of the Dragonborn lineage. As the elders' incantations echoed through the air, the once mighty Dragonborn eggs began to shrink, their scales dulling, their power dwindling, transforming them into the pitiful creatures known as kobolds. Small and weak, these creatures were a pale shadow of the Dragonborn's former glory. Thiothez, the last of his kind, was forced to bear witness to this cruel transformation. He was handed a whip and given a new role, to oversee these kobolds, to keep them in line, to ensure they never forgot the price of defiance. It was a role that filled him with a bitter sorrow, a constant reminder of the punishment inflicted upon his people. Yet, within the depths of his despair, a glimmer of hope flickered. A hope that one day he and the kobolds would break free from their bonds, that they would rise from the ashes of their punishment and reclaim their lost dignity. Thiothez, now alone and burdened, was tasked with overseeing these pitiful creatures. The last Dragonborn's tale of sorrow and hope had only just begun. Thiothez, the last of his kind, carried the weight of his past and the hopes for a better future. In the wake of destruction and loss, Thiothez found himself thrust into a role he never asked for, as the keeper of the kobolds. These smaller, weaker beings were a stark reminder of the curse that had reduced his mighty race to such pitiful creatures. Yet in their eyes he saw a shared longing, a yearning for freedom. Teothez's days were filled with the clanking of chains and the crack of a whip he was forced to wield, each lashing a sharp reminder of the injustice they all endured. He was a Dragonborn, a symbol of strength and power, yet here he was, a mere puppet in the grand scheme of draconic politics. His nights, on the other hand, were filled with solitude. As the last Dragonborn, he bore a burden that was his and his alone. The echoes of his people's past reverberated in his heart, their untold stories and unfulfilled dreams haunting his every waking moment. His isolation was a constant companion, a chilling reminder of the price his family had paid for their rebellion. Yet, amid the darkness of his existence, Thiothez harbored a spark of hope. He dreamt of breaking the chains that held him and his kobold charges captive. He dreamt of a future where they were no longer pawns but free beings, able to dictate their own destinies. This hope was his secret solace, a beacon that guided him through his darkest hours. Despite the odds, Thiothez refused to succumb to despair. He was the last Dragonborn, the final vestige of a once proud lineage. He bore the responsibility of preserving their legacy, of ensuring their sacrifice was not in vain. His spirit remained unbroken, his resolve undeterred. In the face of despair, Thiothez held onto a glimmer of hope, a dream of freedom. His story serves as a testament to the resilience of the spirit, the power of hope, and the unyielding will to fight for freedom. The tale of Thiothez is one of courage, hope, and resilience. Born amidst the shifting sands of a war-torn realm, this blue-scaled Dragonborn bore witness to a rebellion that shook his world. His family, once loyal soldiers to their Dragon Master, dared to defy the mighty Brenin Gwerthiol Gwent a storm. But their bravery was met with a cruel fate. Thiothez watched in helpless anguish as his kin were devoured by the merciless black dragon, Maya Sol Shin Daistiru Popeth, Sin Gwilioch Broidwidian Wayan Mar. A curse was cast upon the remaining Dragonborn, turning them into diminutive kobolds. Thiothez, now the last of his kind, was tasked with overseeing these creatures, yet beneath his scales, hope burned bright. He dreamt of a day when the shackles of servitude would be broken, and his people would know freedom. Thiothez, the last Dragonborn, stands as a beacon of hope amidst a sea of despair, forever dreaming of a day when he and his kin would be free.